was the second NA Grand Open and the last one before the Pro Tour next week in Portland. I am John Tata from True Duelist and the Church of Pentam podcast, and I am joined for this wonderful event with Emmy from the Nexus podcast.
Thank you, John, and welcome everyone to this final Grand Open of the year, hosted by proplaygames. I'm really excited to jump straight into the action. We have over 130 players battling out in 8 rounds of Swiss today to make it to top 16 tomorrow. John, how do you feel about this event? I mean, it's the second largest go, as you said,
man.
and
Yeah.
It's a very diverse meta.
Yeah, definitely. This is the second largest event to date, right behind Grand Open Ohio in season 1. So that's always exciting. We got, I think the final count I saw was 134 players, which is amazing. So we should be having 8 rounds of Swiss this morning and this afternoon into a top 16 tomorrow. What do you think about the meta right now? I think we're probably going to see a lot of red decks, might see a lot of yellow, maybe some Gale. Do you think anything else might pop up out of this event?
For sure. Yeah, those are very safe pick, I would say, right? Because we've seen in previous Grand Opens, they've performed extremely well. Green, Gale, red, and yellow, all very high contender for the win. But I'm expecting some different decks today. I think a lot of players already have their PT invite, and there has been a lot of, we've had a blue coming out in the last expansion, so we'll see. I'm expecting some real spikes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who do you
that's the
have
thing
as
that
a favorite?
we were talking about that on the podcast this week, and we were saying, are players going to bring their Pro Tour decks to this event, or will they maybe hold something back? From what I've seen, and once we get to our round 1 feature match here, I think you'll see something, maybe a little spicy, something that maybe or maybe not should have been held for the Pro Tour, but time will tell there. But round 1, we are going to have Jesse Smith, who top aided the Pasadena Grand Open and also has a top finish in the launch event. So Jesse is a known player, and I believe his opponent's going to be Anthony Julian. So, aside from round 1, we hope to get some pretty exciting decks on stream for you this weekend and, see what we can come up with. But I think there's a surprising amount of red decks, a little more than I thought. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, with yellow performing so well, red is a natural counter, I would say. We'll see how big of a role Nexuses are playing right now in the metagame. So obviously red is a very strong pick. And, we will see how it plays out. Obviously, you're part of a team, True Duelist. What can you tell us about how your team felt going into this Grand Open?
Well, I think there's no surprise that we're pretty stuck on red. Just from our own testing, red's been far and away the most consistent deck. So I, not surprised to see that as the most represented deck. Yellow being very popular, winning a Grand Open, always having top finishes for this season in set 3. I'm not surprised at all at the prevalence of red. But what I'm going to be looking for today is to see white, where white ends up, how it does, how many make the cut, because that's kind of a counter to the Gale decks and the red decks.
Absolutely. And we're not going to spoil anything, but, we've seen the list, and I think some of the players have had a similar thought as yours. So a lot of games to look forward to today. So make sure to stay live, and we're going to jump straight into the action very soon.
Yeah, it should be coming right up here. All right into play. We already have, looks like we're on turn 1 here. We got Jesse on the right against Anthony on the left. Looks like Jesse started off with a Highlands here, and his opponent Anthony on the left starts off with the Worker Ant-Man. So pretty good start for both players here.
Yeah, so not much that we can tell from this start, but obviously Highlands is kind of revealing one of the main engine for ramping. Gonna
Yeah.
actually put some key cards on the screen soon.
Yeah, it looks like we have a Jaeger. Let's see. Looks like the
Yes.
cameras might be reversed. I think that's Jesse on the left, if I could tell from hand motions here and the camera. So
Oh
Jesse
yes,
on the
I
left
remember his
starts. Yep,
scores actually.
yep.
Hmm.
He starts with the Ant Man, and his opponent is on Gale. It looks like.
Oh, I see, I see. So
Yeah. So Jesse had a great
let's.
turn one, ramping the core off the Ant Man here. Let's see what we got. And there's a volcanic canyon. So Jesse's playing kind of a three color spicy deck here. It's got some red in it, some blue, some green, might even be a little bit of white. Uh, so only the
Yeah,
canyon here.
we have a spotlight card for Jesse that might spoil something, but hopefully people
Oh
will get
wow!
excited
So,
about it.
so there's a second Highlands on Anthony's side.
Yeah.
Ooh, with
Oh,
tournament.
and that's the
So that's
promo.
new tournament primo. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just pull that card up on the screen. Uh, but we've seen it played in a previous go.
Yeah, I think it was played
Interesting
in
choice.
Liverpool. I think. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's going to ramp some cores there for Anthony. So he's already up quite a few cores on Jesse here.
Yeah, it's an explosive start for
Yeah.
Anthony. And it seems
So we're
like
going to
it's
attack. Yep.
initiative. Hmm.
Yeah. So Jesse takes the one, goes to four, draws his two for the turn. Looks like he's got an ice shield in his hand, strong draw. Uh, can't make out a couple of those other ones, but see what he discards here. It might be kind of telling what he's planning to do. Nope, goes to Tokiwa. Let's see what else we have here out of Jesse's hand. I can't. It's like a bunch of SBRs.
Yes, it's very crucial, especially at the beginning of the game. Uh, Kind of discarding the right card, if you will.
Smag.
And
Yeah.
oh, discard the
So
Smag.
discards a Smag, sets a burst, which I believe is an ice shield. Okay, there's a strong
Yeah, I
draw.
think I
Looks
saw
like
an
we're.
SPR.
Yep. Looks like we're going to discard Beldegor and probably that Tokiwa. Nope. Goes with the Burst
Hmm,
Nexus.
interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, there's
Yeah,
the
I mean, he
Highlands
wants
of
to
his land.
keep.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one. That's a great one for Jesse here. So now
Mm,
he's definitely setting up for next turn. If Anthony stumbles just a little bit here, two Highlands is pretty terrifying. But if he doesn't have like a Fang or a Tokiwa, it's not quite as scary.
yeah, we've seen one of the major, I guess. Oh, but I mean, what I was saying is like one of the major weaknesses I would say is the drawing power of green. But I mean, when you have
Mhm.
a board like that, you don't need to draw. And um,
Yeah,
now he's gonna swing. He's gonna exhaust that um, worker ant man.
yeah, yeah. So the Alarain will exhaust the Ant Man, and now this. Oh man, this Jaeger's going to do some damage here if Jesse doesn't ice shield
Yeah,
probably right away.
yeah,
I
it's
might have ice
pretty.
shielded at
It's pretty.
three there, but yeah. So it goes to two,
That's
pops the ice shield. So looks like Jesse's pretty far behind here. He's going to have to draw into either a lot of ice shields or some action.
yes. So
Star Bless and
I
another Ant
think I saw
Man.
an Aegis on his hand. Am I right, or am I just
I don't think. Let
it's
me
like
glance at his list real
wishful
quick.
thinking?
Yeah, I don't see
It's
Aegis in
wishful
his
thinking
list.
for him. Hmm.
Star
But
Bless
he's gonna
draws, so
play
he's
another Star Blast.
He's digging.
He's really trying to find something here.
Beldegor and Double Heart he drew there. Those aren't going to help him.
Hmm. Let's see, he has Highlands. Of course, he has a Tokiwa in hand, so he can
Mm-hmm.
start from there, and that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna ramp 2, get some mana to play all those cards that he drew. He's
See where he
thinking,
goes from here. So 2 cores, 4. I didn't catch some of the cards in his hand. So there's a Beldegor. That's not going to help him.
oh, that's another one. Oh wow.
Another Tokiwa. Okay. So with the Highlands out, each Tokiwa is only going to cost them 1 core.
Hmm.
Let's see what else we have here. See, in fact, I think that second Tokiwa you played was actually just free with the Highlands ramping. So it does look like he has an Ice Shield in his hand. Yep. So
you should
that's
be fine. As
definitely
you
great
said,
for him.
now it's always crucial to time your Ice Shield right, because
Yeah.
you're always one Fengwen away from losing if you don't do that.
Exactly. So he has to be very careful here.
And now swinging is bad for a few reasons, right? One is you are left without defenses, and 2, Fengwen, does refresh and bounce and exhaust his spirit, so it's going to be
Yeah.
tricky for Jesse
Well,
here. Let's see.
that's a good point. That's something to consider. Can you really wait though? Because his hand's kind of weak right now, right? So I think you might have to, sitting on your ice shield, you don't really have very many good blocks here. I think you kind of want to be a little aggressive. Um, your worker Ant Man's not doing anything, so you can swing with him first. Then a Tokiwa. So he opts to swing with
Yep.
the Tokiwa first. Yeah, I like this line from Jesse actually because he doesn't really have time to wait here. His opponent's
Yeah,
board is technically superior, but
it's true. And the opponent has 3 cards in hand. It doesn't have any burst set, so
right, exactly.
it's in a great position on board, but it can change
Yeah,
at any moment. And
yeah.
Anthony decides to not block
Hmm.
the first attack.
Yeah. So I would definitely go with the next Tokiwa. I mean, if you swing with one, you might as well swing with the second one. I don't really see any reason not to.
I
Okay,
agree.
so
He opts
opts for the
for,
Ant-Man.
yeah,
Yep. So this is probably just going to get
opts
eaten by the Jaeger. Yeah.
for sure. That's a very easy block for Anthony.
So now, yeah,
Just
this
is
Tokiwa's
thinking, but
coming
yeah,
in.
I mean,
So, yep.
you
So
might
just
as
like
well
you
go
said,
in.
so he's not playing around the Feng Wang at all. He's saying if you have it, you have it. Nothing I can
Yeah,
do about it. I'd rather just pressure my opponent. So now, Anthony's in a tough spot now because if he doesn't have Ice Shield, he's in a spot where it's going to be hard for him to attack as well.
yes, but
But
also he knows that that's an ice shield most likely, so he
yep,
needs to
most
break
likely,
that
yeah, for
first ice
sure.
shield.
Yeah, you definitely have to break it. So you're probably going to be swinging with the Alarain, uh, or even the Torment promo. I forget his
Hmm.
name. Looks like, did he draw elk? Is that what that was? An elk? Wow.
It is an
Okay.
elk. Wow. Okay, that's out of
Yeah,
left
that's
field.
and it looks like his hand is. I don't know if that's an inescapable avalanche in Anthony's hand or
Hmm.
a different white card. I think that's inescapable avalanche.
Yeah, I mean, you said it yourself, right? White is a natural counter of the most played decks right now, so it makes sense that Anthony decides to integrate some of those key white pieces,
Yeah,
and it's playing pretty well for him because now he broke the ice shield, and Elk is active on level 2, so
yeah, yeah.
Jesse has to swing, has to deal damage to Anthony.
So I think Jesse drew Coliseum Golem. I
Hmm.
don't I don't know. What's he have? Burst Nexus, which he discards.
That's burst. Sorry, the blue spell that destroys a 3 cost, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yep.
Pull it
Yeah.
up.
And also mills, I think 2 or 3, maybe 4.
Yeah,
What
break
else? Hit
burst.
break burst. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we have here? He's paying
Let's see.
three
It's
cores for
counting.
something here.
That's a
Beldegor. Okay.
Beldegor.
Hmm.
It's not gonna destroy anything right now. I saw a Deadly Balance, and I think that's a double SPR double heart, isn't it?
Yeah, he has double heart in his hand. Was that? Yeah, that was Deadly Balance. Okay, I couldn't tell what SPR that was, but
Hmm.
Deadly Balance isn't
Actually,
super great right now.
yeah. Let me see his list. Um, yeah, I think his double heart.
Yeah, yeah, it's
He's
it's
playing a
definitely double heart.
Seabed.
Yep.
So Seabed Nexus will prevent during attack step Anthony playing any spell of a color that is not on board. Now
Yeah.
he has Elk, so Eye
Hmm.
Shield could be played from hand still.
Yeah. If that's the best Jesse has, I think. And there's a Thorn Prison. I think this
Mm,
is probably a wrap for game one.
it's really tough. Like Torn Prison is one of the staples that we're seeing in many decks, not only green. So you really need to be careful whenever you're swinging with 2
Yeah.
or 3 spirits. So obviously Anthony's gonna
Yeah.
block,
So those cores
and
of Jesse should have actually went to the reserve, but I don't think it matters in this situation.
yes, yeah. Unfortunately, one of the life has been burned from Elk.
Yep.
That went to trash correctly,
Right.
but
Yeah.
now
Correct.
Anthony is up. And I see
Star
another Torn
Blast. Oh,
Prison,
he
but
has
he's gonna
two more
Star
Thorn Prisons in
Blast.
his hand. So this is so.
Hmm.
I mean, all Anthony has to do here is just turn a spirit sideways, and I think we move to game two. Of course, he doesn't know that, but
Yeah,
yes, that's a burst. I
he
didn't see what he
sets
drew,
a
but
bird.
oh, it was a Star
It was
Blast.
another Star Blast. Yeah,
Yeah.
swings with the Jaeger, and
So there's a
Jesse
Deadly
has a
Balance.
Deadly Balance,
Yeah,
so he's gonna choose.
he's got to bring back at least one Beldegor.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's
um,
going to matter in the end here. As long as Anthony
eh,
does this correctly. Well, that's not.
yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly what I would have destroyed there, but I think he's still fine. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Jesse scoops. I mean, the Alron was there to exhaust the
Yeah. Right.
Beldegor on swings, so wasn't much that could have been
Yep.
done. But a lot was shown on that first round and first match. I'd say it's really a reflection of what we were talking about. Like the meta is so diverse. Like we see just pile of cards that are still very synergetic. So I'm
Hmm.
curious to see what comes in from the side.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, taking a look at Jesse's list, his sideboard. Dream Bomb's always an option if he wants to try to,
Hmm.
have a counter to the Feng Wan. What else does he have here? King Randolph, that's not really going to do anything. Porcupine's not going to do anything. Ferrero Slash, maybe.
Yeah, it seems a very like anti-yellow side deck from Jesse. So not much that can help here, apart from obviously that Dream Bomb that we know it's a great way to deal with Fengwen and now with Elk. So he's seen Elk. He knows there's another threat that needs to be removed from the board as soon as possible. So perhaps the Dream Bones are in order here. But we haven't seen
Yeah.
much from Jesse's deck. I think Anthony went really fast, found his nexuses, and yeah, it did some Gale stuff, I would say.
Yeah, once you have double Highlands, I mean, Anthony had double Highlands plus a Jaeger plus the Torment promo Gale unit. So he was what, 4, 6 cores ahead on turn
Yeah,
3. I mean, that's hard to come back from if you're Jesse. I mean, even with 2 ice shields, it's like you're playing a different game, and that's what Gale can do.
absolutely. Yeah, I just pulled up that green promo. Um, in it came up in some of the testing. It felt a bit underwhelming. Have you played with it or against it so far?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's always felt underwhelming to me, but I can't fault Gale people for for playing it. It does ramp,
Mm,
and its effect is fine. It's perfectly fine. 6K
mm,
at 4 cores is more than reasonable.
yeah.
So, looking at opening
Uh,
hands here, Anthony kind of looks like he's
yeah.
playing a completely different deck. I mean, he's got the Elephant Nexus in his hand. He's got Ice Shield. He's got Star Blessed. Uh, I didn't see Jesse's hand, but I think he's just going to lead with. Oh, he had another Highlands.
Oh,
Wow.
he's gonna find another island. Yeah.
Yeah, his
So if
hand
you're
is.
Jesse, you're not happy right now.
Yeah, I mean Jesse's not too upset drawing that Ant Man.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I don't think he has a Highlands of his own and another Ant Man.
Mm.
Deadly Balance. Looks like. Okay,
Oh,
so
but
there's a
Beldegor is
Veldegor.
gonna take care of that Ant-Man. Great value here for Anthony, removing the Ant-Man, keeping one body on board, and let's see if he decides to swing.
Nah, you probably don't
It's a
swing
tough
here.
choice.
Yeah, I don't think you
Yeah,
want to give Jesse cores this early because he's playing a ramp
mm,
deck. Well,
yeah,
Anthony opts to
he
swing,
doesn't
so
agree.
yeah, does not agree.
Yeah, I think. Oh, and we'll see a
Yeah,
deadly
all right.
balance.
Yeah,
That's another interesting choice.
yeah. I mean, that's not a terrible spot to use it in. It's never going to
No,
get any better, I guess, with as long as Beldegor's in play.
yeah,
So I
you don't
think
have
he's either going
to.
to opt. Yep. Okay. So there's another Ant Man. I thought maybe he'd opt for the Highlands, but he must not have any Gale spirits yet. So
Yeah,
Ant
actually,
Man
we've
yet
seen
again.
it's quite actually valuable to play Highlands when you can play your Gale
Correct.
unit,
Yep.
not knowing what you're against. I mean, Anthony kind of disagree on that because he's been playing Hurricane Island straight away. Yeah, he starts his turn paying
Yep.
4 for a Toki.
So the Highlands engine has started. Okay.
Hmm.
See how he follows this up. So he sets a burst. I think that's an ice shield. I think I saw an ice shield in his hand. I didn't see a starburst.
Yeah, that's once again, like it's hard to replenish your hand if you don't have any support from a
Yeah.
Nexus. Gotta rely on those draw spells. But yeah, he opts for not attacking here,
Yeah.
which I think is a good call.
Yeah. Something
Again,
that Anthony
avoiding
could have
giving
considered
that.
there, even, and he doesn't have the hand to support it, I guess, is he could have just cored that to his own
Ooh,
Tokiwa.
there you go.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
there's the
that's usually
Coral Slash.
a good choice. Hmm. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Like
Mm-hmm.
obviously he managed to at least get one ramp in, which
Yeah.
is at times enough. But yeah,
So the
Jesse's
Lighthouse
pass.
from
Yeah.
Jesse is not the best card in this matchup, but it is reduction for anything he might want to play. He also has Allegro in his deck, so that's something to consider as well.
Yes, exactly. Oh, but a Newman City and an Elk coming out for Anthony again, and Jesse is probably having flashback from this
Yeah, from game
first
one.
match. Yeah.
So the elk comes down.
Uh,
Yep, he paid the correct amount there. It doesn't have 3 cores, it looks like. So I think he was 1 core short from playing that turn
oh, is it only
optimally.
two?
But
Yes.
yeah, so Jesse kind of has you know a free turn, for lack of a better word, to kind of do what he wants.
Mm,
Looks like he has Highlands, Beldegor. His hand's not great.
mm. Yeah, you definitely want, as being Jesse, you definitely want to make sure you can set up like a good defense or a way to swing back after Elk is going to get
Yeah,
fully cored up.
yeah.
Um,
This is kind of disappointing for Jesse because you really wanted to have a better turn there, other than just
mm,
Highlands sacrifice your worker ant man. Um,
mm,
so he's definitely hurting for cards right now. Whereas on the other side,
yes,
Anthony's also hurting for cards, but he has superior board position at the moment.
absolutely. Let's see. So he's going to pay 5 cores for
Yep.
a Huntsman.
Yep. So there's a Jaeger. What else do you have? Strong draw in
Hmm.
his hand, another Highlands,
Yeah,
and a beam rifle, it looks like. So,
that's interesting. He decided to play Jaeger without playing the Highlands. So he just
mhm,
decides I'm gonna attack. Like Jesse doesn't seem to have enough defense. Like I don't want
yeah,
to go slow. Let me just
yeah.
go full
So
in.
if I'm Anthony here, I'm attacking with everything. I mean, I'm sending elk too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, 100%, 100%. Because you're quite comfortable, right? You're sitting at three
yeah,
lives. Um, you know, Jesse could find a Feng one. Um, I believe. I mean, sure. Oh, actually, spoiler alert. There's no Fengwen in that deck. So,
yeah.
but I
No,
mean, you
he's
don't
playing
know that.
Coliseum Golem. Yep, right.
Yeah, yeah. So
So what
interesting.
else we got? So it looks like what is that? I
That's
can't
a
tell what he's
lot of
playing here.
cores.
Is that Coliseum Golem? Oh, it
Oh,
is
it is
Coliseum
the
Golem.
Colosseum.
Yeah. So
We see it
you
coming
see
down.
see Anthony doing a
Yeah,
double take and reading the wall of text that
yeah.
is Coliseum Golem here.
What does that do again? He's just
About five
thinking.
different things.
Yeah, no, that's what Anthony's thinking, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, this can
So
actually
it
hurt
is
me."
1, 2, 3, 4. It is fully leveled up here. So he's
Hmm.
exhausting a Nexus. He's going to be able to ramp one,
Yeah.
and he's going to make a Golem, I believe. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
correct. And it's not exhausted either.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
a 10K
Yep.
token.
So for those that don't know, the way that you can order this is you can choose to put the core on your Nexus first and then make your Golem. So you always have that one core to
Correct.
maintain the
Yeah, that's
Golem
a pretty
token.
huge it's a pretty
Yeah.
huge QA there. We're seeing Anthony thinking. Uh Not
Yeah. I
sure
mean,
what's in his hand
he's probably
to
just going to Ice Shield here.
yeah.
Well, no, he's. Eh,
I don't
I
know,
mean, I
like
guess
is he
Jesse not
trying to
having. I mean, Jesse doesn't have his own Ice Shield.
Oh
Um,
wow, Jesse doesn't swing actually with the other, so decides to exhaust the Nexus to refresh the golem and just
Yeah,
pass.
I I feel like Jesse had to crack the ice shield there, because
Yeah,
you're probably just dead to a thorn prison anyway. Um,
I agree.
yeah, yeah,
I think
probably
Jesse
wanted to
took
crack that.
Anthony's hesitation on the burst as
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe he's counting chorus for flood
Yeah.
stream. I don't know.
Oh man. So Anthony
It's hard
off
to
of his
tell.
strong draw just drew like straight gas. So this is probably not the best spot for Jesse now. He drew the Fang. He drew another Tokiwa. What
Mm,
else does he have? Another Ice Shield he has in his hand. I think was his draw for the turn.
hmm. Yeah, but now actually Anthony has to think like, do I send my spirit to crash? And obviously he has Gale, so can take full
Hmm.
advantage of just maybe crashing a Toki and opening the
Right.
field.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he had a beam rifle in his hand, unless that was something else.
Oh, I cannot see actually. That would be quite devastating. Not that he needs it, because yeah, again, I mean, has decided to swing with the Jaeger, so maybe he does. Jesse's
Yeah.
thinking.
So strong draw you could still play during the main
He
phase. Uh,
does. He does
yeah, even
have.
with light elves. Yeah, okay, so
And
there's the beam rifle, and I think this is I don't know what was in Jesse's hand, but
actually,
oh,
yeah,
okay, great.
Jesse has
Yep,
another has a beam
huge.
rifle for himself. So um,
So he's only got a
here's the
one
thing.
though.
That's why you should have swung with Tokiwa, because then the Jaeger would have refreshed at this point, right? Because if the Tokiwa went through, Jaeger level 2 makes it refresh when another Gale unit takes life. So yeah, I think maybe it could have been a bit more optimal the way Anthony
Yeah,
decided to.
yeah, yeah. Good call out.
Now it's
Let's see what we
Jesse's
got
turn, and
here. I didn't see what Jesse drew, but his board is looking a
no.
lot better now. Is that a
True, he's scratching his
beam
head,
rifle?
thinking, how am I going to solve this?
Yeah, I mean, his opponent having I don't know how many cores he has. 3, 5. Okay, so I guess he can't play Fang next turn.
Hmm.
Corn up
Yeah.
lighthouse.
If I'm Jesse right now, I'm thinking, is there an infinity shield there? Because obviously there's a soul core on Elk, so it can't do suppression. Well, it
Yep.
can do suppression, pardon me, because of Elk. So you're thinking
So,
about infinity shield and suppression.
hmm so there's the ramp. Another golem. Okay, let's see. We got. Okay. It looks
Yeah, so
like
it
he.
swings,
Yep.
creates another one.
So
Oh,
there's
and
the
just
ice
an ice shield.
shield, and that's going to be game. It looks like, right?
Yeah, because Elk is active, and
Yep. And
Elk
Jesse's at one.
effect does resolve
Wow. Yeah.
even if you take
So
life. Mhm.
just when Jesse was turning the corner, we saw where Anthony had the ice shield with the elk combo to end that game. So
Yeah.
unfortunate we don't get a game 3 there, but at least we saw two pretty interesting decks, right? We saw a green, white ramp deck from Anthony
Mhm.
and a 3-color Gale deck from Jesse there.
Yeah, very exciting, very great start for the day. And we've seen there's many more unique decks. Oh, and Anthony showing that he actually cited a suppression. So yeah, is very ready for everything, and including that seabed lighthouse that um, you know could have
Yeah.
prevented the last attack. But yeah, so what do you think, John? As a good start for the day in your eyes?
Yeah, great start. I think we saw what we wanted to see right away. We got to see two interesting decks play against each other. I'm a big fan of Jesse's deck. It's unfortunate that he couldn't get past this round one here, but you know, Anthony's deck is also very interesting. So I always love seeing new ideas do well, and I don't think anyone was disappointed with that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just hearing from production, just making sure that we're gearing up for next round.
Yeah, I think
So
there's still
we should
quite a
be.
bit of time in the round. So, here, as soon as we get back, we will be right on to round two. So we will see you guys then.
See you soon. Stay tuned.